But up next, probably one of the more interesting things that we're going to talk about in this episode was that the rookie QBs struggled, and we kind of expected this. I mean, it's their week 2 performance. I will gladly say that I thought Mac Jones looked exactly how the Patriots wanted him to look.
Did he look like the number 1 pick?
Or he looked better than the number 1 pick.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
But granted, he's also not in that Jacksonville situation. Speaking of, starting out with the number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence, I mean, he struggled against
a good Denver defense. A good Denver defense. Yeah.
Yeah. But 14 for 33, 118 yards, 1 touchdown, the touchdown was a very nice throw, and that kind of showed what he could be.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 interceptions, and then he had 2 rushes for 21 yards.
Yeah.
I have some concerns about Trevor Lawrence. I think the play speed is definitely faster. I think he's struggling to get through his reads, especially against a Denver defense that has a pretty good pass rush. And I just think he needs that time to develop, especially on a weaker team like Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But like I said, that touchdown pass was pretty nice. And I think when he makes those good plays, he looks really good. I just think he has to get to the point where he's making those good plays more than the bad plays.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's going to be when you're on a weak offensive line, and it's just tough for quarterbacks, especially because you're going to get much more of the blame than you should. But one of the things I think, and this is going to come with Lawrence's development, is I think seeing when that's going to come, expecting that, hey, maybe your offensive line is weaker than what's coming to you, and hit that check down guy sooner. I think he had how many picks again today? 2?
2.
So that puts him on 5 for the year already.
Yeah, 5 in 2 games.
5 in 2 games, which I think actually isn't the worst of the rookie quarterbacks, and we're going to get to that in a second. But and that's the thing, when you look at Mac Jones and just his development, he seems like he is already there. Now, he does have a much better offensive line, but he seems like he is there to where he sees the read he wants to go. He looks at what the defense is giving him and makes adjustments accordingly on the fly. And then he does not mind hitting that check down guy and getting 4 or 5 yards.
No.
That should be the motto of our show, is the NFL's running the ball through the air. And that's how you win these games. You look at Jimmy Garoppolo in his game today. I think he was 22 for 30 with 189 yards. Baker Mayfield was 19 for 21 with 230 yards. Like, very minimal mistakes, very, very efficient. And so that I think is going to help lead to championships, especially at this time in his career and developing that skill.
Yeah, no, definitely. Another guy who you kind of just mentioned who is beating Trevor Lawrence in interceptions, I want to say with 6. I think he has 6 on the year.
Two last week, right, against the Panthers.
Yeah, and then he threw 4 today, and that is Zach Wilson with the New York Jets.
Yeah.
Did you watch the game? Did you watch that game, or did you see that?
I was not able to watch the game. This one, I watched the highlights afterwards, but and I read a good article about it that ESPN did, and it was talking about it was based off the coach's interview afterwards. But it's just Zach Wilson's got to just be prepared and expect to play boring football, and it's in quotes of what Robert Saleh said, and that I think is exactly what. It's not sexy football, but it gets the job done. You don't throw 2 turnovers on your first 2 passes, or 4 on your first 10 passes, and kind of take the team against a better offense. That game could be over within the first 10 minutes.
Especially, I think 2 or 3 of the interceptions were in their own territory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, for me, the stat that was really alarming. So he threw all 4 interceptions in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
And the Patriots only had 1 sack in the first half. It's not even like the Patriots were really bringing that much pressure, like really throwing him off his mark. They were throwing in some blitz schemes to kind of confuse him. So the Patriots run that 3-4. And they were throwing like pulling one linebacker off on the edge and then sending a guy on the middle to overload one side. But that's a part of the chess game that is the NFL football. You kind of have to be able to do hard counts. Maybe you can draw people off and kind of do things just to give yourself a little bit of an edge on the offensive side of the football. And Zach Wilson just isn't there yet. I'm not concerned about his development. I think
No,
he just
no.
needs to go back to the film room and really just. I mean, he has to go through every play, like mentally, like create a checklist. Like,
Yeah,
all right, where's the Mike linebacker? Who do I think's come in? Can I adjust the protection? Do I need to like put in a hot route? Like,
yeah,
just little things that he can do to kind of improve that offense. And the last thing I guess that he could really do is just mentally being able to take the check down. You can't complete a 20-yard throw every single time. And that for me is what it looked like he tried to do in the first half of this game, is just
yeah.
make sure that like he was going to make some really cool highlight plays after this. And so it just didn't work for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, and this is why this is in the expected category, and there's still even a couple other quarterbacks, because today it was just a tough day for rookie quarterbacks in general,
Yeah.
except for Mac Jones, actually. But this is what we talked about, though, is like they're going to make mistakes, and so let's learn from them. If he has a four
Mm-hmm.
interception game at the end of the season, that might be a little bit more concerning.
Yeah.
But now it's week 2 against a pretty tough New England team, a division rival who knows the Jets system well. I know it's a new coach and everything, but system
Yeah.
and the offensive linemen or players that were still there from last time, they have game film on how they play. And so it's
Mm-hmm.
going to be tough for these guys over the first couple of weeks. But even Davis Mills coming in with Tyrod Taylor getting hurt, 8 for 18 with 102 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception against the Browns. That's a tough team to come in as well. They also have a solid
Yeah.
defense coming into it. And one thing we'll also mention here is Justin Fields got some playing time as well against the Bengals, and Joe Burrow
Yeah.
only went 6 for 13 with 60 yards. And did I write this down correctly? 2 interceptions?
No, just one.
Oh, just one? Okay. Okay. All right. That's what I
Yeah.
say. It's like, I think he threw 2 interceptions on there. But if with Mills and Fields, they're going to probably be experiencing some of the same things that Wilson and Lawrence experienced today. Is like
Yeah.
you got to just mentally prepare and just hit that check down guy and
Yeah.
not to try and force anything, because if their veteran starters are going to be out for some time, it's
Mm-hmm.
next man up mentality, and
Yeah.
it's going to be their job to give the team a shot to win the game.